dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. A quiet evening turns into a terrifying night. A family of 5 in Leslie County only escaped with the clothes on their backs after a fire Friday night. WYMT's Lauren McCourt talked with the two parents who say if they had not smelled smoke when they did, the story might be much worse.
What started out as a normal Friday night for the Baker family.
I was in the living room with my middle child, Cooper. He was watching TV. I was doing a little bit of work.
Quickly turned into a nightmare.
So I was laying there and I was like, that smells smoke.
As Davina and Josh were trying to find where the smoke was coming from, they headed over to check the garage.
And when you opened it up, all you could see was just flames everywhere.
When Josh could not extinguish the fire, he knew they only had little time to escape.
So we knew we had to get the kids out, and so we got our boys out.
And as the family made it to the end of the driveway, they looked back to see a home full of memories up in flames.
And you look across and you see everything that you've built for almost 2 decades just in flames.
Making it out with only minutes to spare.
I see it smelled smoke. A minute or 2 minutes later, we might not be here.
The two parents say they are just thankful that all 5 of them made it out safely.
We'd look around and we'd see our kids and we're like, you know, they are truly irreplaceable.
While trying to start from scratch can be difficult.
When something devastating like this does strike someone within the community, everyone wants to help.
It helps when a community stands behind you.
People are standing behind you and ready to lift you up and carry you when you just can't walk anymore.
Making rebuilding a little easier. In Leslie County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, for more information on how you can help the Baker family, you can go to our website, WYMT.com.
Well, we started out this Monday a little bit on the gloomy side, but we've seen that sunshine open up, or we really saw the skies open up today and finally seeing more sunshine. You'll notice as we take a look at a few of those cameras looking into downtown Whitesburg, hanging on to a stray cloud or two, but overall we have been dry and seen plenty of sunshine through the day. So look outside the front porch here in Hazard, 87 degrees, dealing with a few clouds as well. Those dew points into the upper 60s, making it feel like the lower 90s out there, but definitely hot and humid. But I think all of us would rather deal with that than the rain that we dealt with this past weekend. Those temperatures right now anywhere from those low to mid 80s, some spots into the upper 80s. You'll notice that 87 in Hazard, 88 in Jonesville, but a cooler 81 in Wise and Pikeville, even a 79 looking over into parts of Logan. But feeling like the upper 80s to lower 90s for most. But really, as we head throughout the rest of that work week, we're going to continue to see those temperatures become a little bit warmer. Satellite and radar, we've seen those clouds throughout the day. That cold front continued to push through the mountains, and now we dealt with a few of those scattered rain chances scanning the skies. I think we're finally seeing those get out of here. I know parts of Whitley and Knox County have been dealing with those pop-up showers throughout the day. You can see maybe a few over into parts of Whitley County, but most of us definitely staying on the drier side. Will that continue though as we head into the rest of the work week? I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve?
All right, Paige, thank you. The Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team ended up having to rescue one of its own last week after the chief lost control while rappelling down a cliff face. Now Chief John May is recovering from multiple injuries, but is fortunate to be walking again. Adam Berniston talks with the chief about the recovery process and how the team is handling the accident.
They saved my life, and I'll always be thankful for that.
While conducting a rescue of a lost hiker near Chimney Top Rock last week, Chief John May was rappelling down a 200-foot cliff edge when he encountered an unexpected increase in speed, and then he lost his footing against the side of the cliff 90 feet above the ground.
The rope burned through my hands. I held my hands on the rope, as you can see from my fingers, went through some trees, and then, landed on the bottom of the cliff.
John's team then immediately jumped into action to save him after suffering severe burns on his hand and possibly fracturing his vertebrae. But now in the recovery process, John is staying optimistic about the future.
Get my fingers healed up and get this back situation taken care of, whatever that turns out to be, and just go about my business. Plan to get back at it as soon as possible.
While John continues to heal and return to some normalcy, he tells me that their team is reevaluating the accident, and he also says how they plan to avoid this from possibly happening again in the future.
That after-action report that we put out has now been shared across the country, and we may get some more information from it. So we wanted people to have the opportunity to share thoughts and comments and understand what we were doing.
And while the search and rescue team is confident their equipment is working properly, John says they will be looking at protocol going forward as they get back out to rescue hikers in the gorge. In Winchester, Adam Berniston, WYMT Mountain News.
Chief May is still going to doctor's appointments for his back, but he is expected to make a full recovery. The Dallas Police Department unveiled the memorial today honoring the 5 police officers who were killed in the line of duty 3 years ago. Police say a sniper ambushed Dallas police officers during a protest against police violence on July 7, 2016. 5 police officers died, 7 others were shot. Police Chief Renee Hall spoke at the unveiling.
Although we cannot match their sacrifice, it is our responsibility to match their sense of service and devotion to our duty.
The sculpture will be a permanent addition to the plaza at Jack Evans Police Headquarters. House Democrats are pushing for hearings this week on the border crisis. It comes amid new reports of disease and overcrowding at some migrant detention centers. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee says she was blocked from entering a facility in Clint, Texas, where the New York Times detailed horrendous conditions. The acting Secretary of Homeland Security, Kevin McAleenan, says the allegations are unsubstantiated. Vice President Mike Pence blasted Democrats who have drawn comparisons to concentration camps.
To compare the humane work of the dedicated men and women of Customs and Border Protection with the horrors of the Holocaust is an outrage.
McAleenan and the new acting head of ICE, Mark Morgan, have both been called to testify, but so far have not confirmed if they will be there. A DHS official tells CBS News it is working on scheduling, while a congressional aide says the hearing will move forward as planned. Iran is now enriching uranium past the limit set by the 2015 nuclear deal. It is also pressuring Europe for help around crippling U.S. sanctions. Vice President Mike Pence spoke at the Christians United for Israel summit in Washington today. He says the U.S. will never allow the nation to obtain a nuclear weapon. The vice president gave this warning to Iran.
Iran should not confuse American restraint with a lack of American resolve.
A spokesman for Iran's foreign minister says his country trusts no one involved in the nuclear deal and pressed European members to save it. The European Union has called on Iran to stop and reverse any actions that go against the agreement. A Northern Kentucky man is one of 2 Americans who were injured in the annual Running of the Bulls in Pamplona, Spain. A 23-year-old man from Florence was gored during yesterday's opening run. He was among nearly a dozen people that were injured, including another American. Among those in the crowd was Carl Buttram. He just finished his 99th bull run.
It's not only 24 hours of fun for 9 days, but there's an element of danger.
More than 1 million people attend the festival, which began in the early 14th century. The run was immortalized in the 1920s by American novelist Ernest Hemingway. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, looking for a job? Nearly 100 people showed up for a medical coding career fair in Pikeville today. We'll tell you why these jobs are so important next.
And sunshine has finally returned, but won't last too long as a cold front looks to arrive to the mountains. But hot temperatures, though, as we head throughout the rest of the work week as well. Have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.